Thursday scandals. I promised you guys some Diddy stuff. I know some of you are sick of it watching it on Popcorn Planet, but I had a lot of requests for this. So Kid Cudi was on stand today and he testified that Diddy's assistant Capricorn had advised that Diddy and his thugs had broken into the house. All of the surveillance cameras were broken or shut off, and also that he was aware that the car was torched by Diddy because Cassie had told him that that was the intention. Welcome to my channel. I'm Annabelle. I'm Fortune Cookies Tarot, head tarot reader here, suffering from horrible allergies. I didn't take my allergy medicine until about a half hour ago, but we are going to look at Kid Cudi here. I got a brand new deck from Hay House. I got the Mindscapes Tarot, and I also got the Psychic Tarot Oracle, which we're probably going to use in this reading. Don't worry, we'll get back to that kitty deck, the Fantasy Feline deck soon enough. So let's get going, guys. I'm going to pull this up. I'm super late today. Let's get going. Before I do anything else, please hit that like button and show me some love. Let's get going, kids. So what was Kid Cudi's true motivation in testifying? Was it for justice? Is there fear in here, or is it personal healing? What do we got? What do we got with Kid Cudi here? Was it justice, fear, personal healing? Justice. 10 of Tides, which is the 10 of Cups. This really is justice for Cassie. Now, I want to stress Kid Cudi was dating Cassie, and it looks like the relationship did overlap with Diddy a little bit, and that was the cause for all that vitriol. So we've got the 10 of Cups here. Justice. Yes, he wants justice for Cassie. Fear. We've got fear here. 6 of Stones. Not really. I think he's pretty well preserved and feels pretty good about it. And then we have personal healing here. Ace of Tides. Again, this is Ace of Cups. I think he is trying to do the right thing. Was Cudi ever directly threatened by Diddy beyond the car situation? Was he ever threatened by Diddy beyond the car situation? 2 of Branches. No, this came from somebody else. He actually would have people kind of make that assertion. So let's do some of this Tarot Oracle here, or Psychic Tarot Pocket Oracle. These came in the Hay House subscription box. I thought I canceled it, but I didn't. Sacral chakra. Now, this is kind of interesting because I do watch Sloan Bella. Sloan Bella is another psychic. If you're not aware of her, she's amazing. A little bit different from me, but she talks about how some of the ritualistic sexual actions that go on in some of these organizations are breaking through that sacral chakra and causing problems with that. I think possibly we had threats of doing something like that to Kid Cudi. What else do we got here? What else do we have here? We've got deception and envy, a little bit envious of that relationship I think that Cudi was having with Cassie. I do believe that there was an assertion that they were in love at one point. Did Cudi hold back on any deeper secrets in court that he might share later? Star in reverse, Page of Branches, and the Wheel of Fortune. I think he does have a bit more information, but I don't think it's firsthand information. I think he's been told things by Cassie, told things by people that are on the inner circle of this particular organization. I'm going to call it organization since we are talking about RICO charges here. But I think he's not bringing them up. I think it's not relevant. I think he through and through. Let's take a look. What does he actually think about Diddy? What does he actually think about Diddy? Knight of Spires, which is Knight of Swords, Two of Stones, Two of Pentacles, Seven of Spires. Oh my. And that is the Catacombs. Catacombs is a specific card for this deck, and this is about reaching into our ancestors and hearing what our ancestors have to say. This is a very, very curious spread. So what does he really think of it? He does think that Diddy is not doing his ancestors any good, that he is actually performing as a human being and as a spirit very poorly and not serving well those that have come before him. He's not honoring those ancestors and those people that kind of carved the way for him. Notwithstanding his mother, I think he treats his mother very, very well. She looks like she is very well healed in this trial. There's a lot of conversation about her being a little too expressive with her clothing. So he thinks that he is the father of lies, king or Knight of Spires. Again, that's the Knight of Swords in reverse. That is someone who is quick to talk, quick to act, quick to think, retribution right here. Two of Stones, we do have two different Sean Combs here. We probably have Love and Diddy and Sean Combs. He's got a different name every couple of weeks, so why not? And the Seven of Spires is that he knows that this guy is a snake. Now, some people will say you can't get anywhere in business without breaking a few eggs, without being kind of a jerk, but I think this goes beyond that. So what really happened the night Kid Cudi's car was set on fire? According to what the testimony revealed, Diddy had said he would do it and he would be out of the country when it happened. So what really happened that night? Let's get some characters on the table. And if you haven't hit that like button, make sure you hit that like button. And I want to stress, there is a link in the description of this video and pinned. I am running a sale, super duper discount on readings booked over the next few days into the future. So you have to book it in the next few days, but you can book it for the future indefinitely into the future. Huge discount, $56 off every single reading. So let's get going, guys. I want to see some of you on my schedule. So what really happened that night? Who was there? Let's go. Got Judgment. That is a heavy. 3 of Branches and 10 of Stones. That's the... So I do think that we've got several people involved here. If there was some level of security, we're going to go right to the back end on this one. If there was some level of security there outside of those security cameras, I think those people were slid a little bit of cash. I think the security that was on site was bribed, and I hate to say that. And they were asked, hey, you just got to look the other way for a little while. Don't worry about it. He's got insurance. Car's going to be covered. Don't sweat it. This needs to be done. This has to happen. So I don't know if they actually told why it was going to happen, where it was going to happen, what was going to happen, but they did pay off some people to turn a blind eye and not be there. Judgment, this is kind of the lieutenant. This is the guy, and I am using Lieutenant. I am using RICO style, not RICO Suave, but RICO Act. Uncle Rico, not Uncle Rico either. We love Uncle Rico. He could throw that ball right over the mountains. So the Judgment card, this is actually our lieutenant that was there. This is the guy who would have actually taken the directive from Diddy and would have relayed it to the worker guys, who maybe somebody cut open the roof. The roof was actually cut open. I think you can see pictures of it online. It actually looked like it was just kind of cut open, and then they threw a Molotov cocktail in it, and boom, car went hot. So I think we had several people involved. I think there was some money that exchanged hands so that they could get some people out of there. Doesn't take that much in LA. I did not discover a lot of great people there. So, was Cassie Ventura truthful and accurate when she told Cudi about the threat that Diddy made? Well, kind of looks like it, doesn't it? These are questions that I generated with AI. Let's see. Was she being truthful? One card. Deception and envy. That's weird. Temptation. Crown chakra. Third eye chakra. Fertility. Mental conflict. So I think that this was really a difficult moment for her. The deception that we're getting here is she was deceiving Diddy. I think she was still with Diddy at this point. And I do think that this became very, very complicated for her. The temptation to go with someone who I at least felt like he cared a lot more for her. I know nothing about Kid Cudi, so we could dive into her relationship with him in another reading. But crown chakra, third eye chakra, she could see the future of what was happening. She could see that it potentially was going to get worse, and she wanted to make sure that she laid some groundwork for the relationship to continue. But this deception and envy is where we get this mental conflict. So there we go, guys. There we go. Looking at that. Looking at that. What role did Diddy's assistant Capricorn, and I apologize, I don't know the last name. Was she a messenger or an accomplice? Was she a messenger or an accomplice? Let's do messenger or accomplice. You know, I think Capricorn was in pretty deep, and I think that Capricorn did want to make sure that Kid Cudi knew what was happening, but I think it was to prevent him from coming home. The accomplice here, 10 of branches, is a little too much to bear. Can't see the forest but for the trees. So let me know what you think of this deck. It's really beautiful in person. I hope it's reading as well as it's reading here. So now we're going to get into the meat of this reading. So did Kid Cudi's testimony shift the prosecution's strategy significantly? Now, I will say this. A lot of people with Cassie Ventura testifying first had some issues with this is not proving the RICO case. It's looking like a DV case rather than a RICO case. So Kid Cudi, because there was a chain of command and it was the order was given to someone else, possibly starts to shape up that RICO and organized crime kind of flavor to this. So just to let you guys know, RICO is giving orders for the benefit of the illegal organization, the gang, the crime, the mob, whatever it is. So it really is much bigger than just Diddy DVing Cassie. And so a lot of people were very concerned about it. I know Lionel Nation was like, why isn't the prosecutor doing their job? I think that timing was really because of her pregnancy. But let's see, is Kid Cudi's testimony changing the direction of this trial? 9 of branches. It is uncovering things. 9 of branches in reverse. This is 9 of wands in reverse. So 9 of wands, we're backed up against the wall. We're keeping our secrets safe. This is revealing the secrets. We're getting the secrets falling out. They're falling out. The lovers, we are now going to see some people fleeing from the pack. So I think, rats from a ship, when things go down fire, I think we're going to start to see that now. Lovers in reverse. Remember, for me, the lovers card is typically business arrangements, agreements, it could even be shaking hand, but it's more of promises made, promises kept. So what else do we have here? The Nine of Swords. This is making people very, very nervous. Who's it making? Prosecution? Seven of Wands. Nope, prosecution's not nervous. How about the defense? The defense is nervous. The defense, no. Six of Pentacles. There's not going to be any generosity after this. So we're starting to tie together some of the issues here. The Two of Swords. People are now going to get more firmly into a camp of criminal, RICO, not criminal, but DV. So we're starting to see that. And the end, King of Stones in reverse. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I think that this case is starting to tip in a different direction. It doesn't look like anybody's game anymore. Oh boy. All right. So is the stronger RICO case based on intimidation, violence, and conspiracy? Is that starting to shape up? We're going to do one card for this. Page of Branches. Yes, yes, yes. That is a yes card. Will Capricorn... I think Capricorn is already testifying kind of in a neutral fashion. But will we start to see individuals flip their allegiance to Diddy? Are we going to start to see flips? Are people going to realize that they have got to go support the prosecution? King of Spires, Ace of Spires, Queen of Stones, Eight of Stones, Hierophant, Page of Cups. We're going to start to get some interesting testimony here, guys. Three of Spires, Three of Swords right here, Three of Branches. We're going to start to get some very, very interesting testimony from individuals. Now, I know that the witness lists are set, but we may start to hear some different people come into the equation because they're going to start realizing that they are potentially culpable for some of these crimes. This is looking good. Interesting thing that I found out last night, little sidebar here, is that Diddy has been trying to sell his house in LA for $60 million. You can go see it. It is the second most expensive home in Holmby Hills right now. You can go see it. There's a few pictures, not a lot, but he has not been able to sell it. It's been on the market for 200 days. And there is a somewhat famous real estate agent who has offered his hand in trying to sell it, but there's been no jump on that. At one point, they took it off the market for a hot minute and then put it back on. And presumably that was to drop the price, but it looks like they don't want to drop the price. I think he needs that money for his defense. So let's look at some spiritual consequences and energy around him. What karmic consequences is Diddy facing in the future from this pattern of alleged behavior? So what? Oh, the Fool, recklessness, and the Devil, depravity. And I don't mean depravity in a bad way. I think he will have a future lifetime of a lot less luxury and a lot less options. I've said this before. Greg and I are very close to someone who went to school with him, and he was always fairly well heeled and well cared for, despite not having a dad, having lost his dad, I should say that. But he was not coming up from the streets. I think his next lifetime is going to be one of deprivation. I don't think that he is going to have the opportunities, the means, the luxury that he had in this life. And I think that the world will come crashing down on him and will be preventing him in the next lifetime from having any of those means of success. It looks like he will play more of a support characteristic in the next lifetime. And that is going to be time served for the actions that he took in this lifetime that were not so great. So basically, he is going to be stuck in a set of circumstances in the next life. So let's look at Kid Cudi. So is his testimony going to inspire other celebrities to come forward? One of the things that came out over the last 2 days of testimony, Usher was mentioned. Oh gosh, I can't remember who the other guy was, but he's really cute. But there were some other celebrities at a dinner in a public place where Diddy had Aid Cassie in front of an entire table of people, including a very, very well-known producer. So is this testimony going to inspire more people, celebrities, to come forward and kind of say what they say? I think a 2 of swords, 3 of stones. I think in private quarters. Now, the great work. This is a specific card to this deck. It is moving beyond into the spirit, into the quantum. So this is the great work, and it's in reverse. So I think that no one is going to really step out and make an effort to make change, but this will be gossiped about in closed quarters. I think people will be discussing this in closed quarters. Ultimately, what does it do? Ace of Spires, it kind of spurs on some gossip. Hollywood's a small town. You got to be careful who you're talking about. No one knows what's going to happen until after this is all done. I mean, we saw that with the O.J. Simpson case. It just wasn't, people were not, making a decision until it was all done. Is this officially the beginning of the downfall of Diddy in this trial? Is this the beginning? Is this the beginning of his downfall in this trial? The moon, things are being revealed. Let's go over to our tarot oracle. Things are being revealed. Heartache and loss. Yeah. Wisdom. Solar plexus. When you get scared, you feel it right in your solar plexus. Stomach drops. We've got that. The waiting game. He is just waiting for it to end. Love begins. Well, not really. Light. We're going to see a revival. We're going to see him. He's going to start to drop he's going to look lighter and lighter and lighter. Today he had a yellow sweater on, or a butter yellow sweater, or cream colored sweater. They're going to start to dress him more and more in white clothing. They're going to give him a purity kind of look. This is their PR and wardrobe team is going to go into overdrive to try and make him look much, much more angelic and likable. They can't dye his hair. They can't do anything about that, but they're going to work to make him look a lot more likable, a lot more angelic. So I do think it's happening. So are we closer to justice being served? Are we closer to justice being served? 2 of Tides, 2 of Cups, still. We still have to wait. This is just like the election. I'm sorry, guys, but we still have to wait. People are. I think this is a good sign for our jury. I think the jury really is weighing both sides of it. What about the public? Before we finish this up, what about the public? King of Tides. I think the public really has made a decision. Those of us that do not have the obligation to make a decision without the benefit, without the reasonable doubt attached to it. I think we have all made up our minds. I think we're all pretty. I mean, that video was pretty bad. The video in the hotel is pretty bad. And now Kid Cudi saying that there, I don't know if you guys saw that card move by itself, but that was weird. Now that Kid Cudi is saying that, there was a concerted and collected effort to do him wrong. I think we're getting a sense of how thuggish this whole situation goes. So, with that, my friends, I hope you enjoyed that. I know some of you do have Diddy fatigue already, but this is an important case. We got to pay attention to it. I am going to pluck some of the witnesses and characters out of this case. I'll be doing readings on them. I'm not going to go really deep on Cassie. I think she's been through enough. And I just want her to go off and have her baby quietly and build her family and be done with this kind of nonsense. But Jonathan Odie is one that I am kind of riveted by. Jonathan Odie was the hired help that went down to it was in Florida and actually broke into one of the Trump hotels there and created a whole ruckus with the pew pew pews and draped a American flag over the front desk, and it was a whole police incident. He is in jail, but periodically there are rumors that he has been el muerto, and he's just he's South African. He's got this really cool accent. He was married to an attorney at one point, divorced her, and had no money, and then had a ton of money like the next day and bought all these properties. Like, he is a very interesting character. And while I don't know if he's on the witness list or anything like that, I think he needs a look. But some of the other characters in this case are going to need a look too. So I hope you guys will enjoy this. I will try and keep the videos nice and short, again, so you don't get too much fatigue from this. I know it's heavy duty information, but as always, thank you so much. Again, reminder, I'm going to pin a comment in the comment section too. I've got a great sale going on. Take advantage of it. You can book a reading for all summer long. You can book 5 readings, whatever you want. I'd love to see some of you guys on the schedule. So I will see you all in the future. It's freezing cold here in New Jersey. Bye for now.